Typhoon Krathon has made landfall on Taiwan's southwestern coast.
Have you ever heard of a storm having the unique potential to generate Saint Elmo's fire? You definitely weren't aware of this phenomenon until I told you that Typhoon Julian can. Now let's go on a voyage to learn about Typhoon Julian and its unique ability mechanism. Typhoons are relatively uncommon in Taiwan, but tend to strike the rocky, sparsely populated east coast.
Low-lying and mountainous areas. Officials have shot down schools and offices.
However, this time, the typhoon is expected to travel a more unusual and dangerous path, landing on the island's flat, thickly populated western plains. On September 30th, 2024, the Philippines' northernmost regions, including Batanes and the northeastern Babuyan Islands, were blasted by Typhoon Julian, also known as Krathon. Typhoon-strength winds are blowing across these remote islands, bringing severe weather to the area. As Typhoon Krathon moves through the Balintang Channel,
flights are canceled and financial markets closed. Taiwan's president warns the damage is likely to be catastrophic.
the State Weather Bureau issues a stern warning in its 5 a.m. broadcast. It warns that Batanes and places north of the Babuyan Islands may expect major to severe effects from typhoon-strength winds. The deadly gusts spinning across the small channel are predicted to deliver severe weather conditions, threatening life in these fragile, isolated areas.
40,000 troops are on standby to help with possible rescue efforts.
The islands are now completely vulnerable to the full force of nature. The center of the typhoon is currently over the coastal waters around Balintang Island and Kaohsiung in Cagayan, moving westward at 10 kilometers per hour. With maximum sustained winds of 155 kilometers per hour around its center and gusts up to 190 kilometers per hour, the storm is bringing severe winds across the region. Julian is expected to proceed west-northwestward over the narrow Balintang Pass today, dangerously near Balintang Island and Batanes.
Leading up to this typhoon making landfall, the wind and rain has been pretty extraordinary down here in Kaohsiung, a city of some...
Signal number 2 has been issued for mainland Cagayan, Apayao, and Ilocos Norte, while signal number 1 is affecting several areas in Luzon, including Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Abra, Kalinga, Ifugao, Mountain Province, Benguet, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, Aurora, and the northern and eastern parts of Nueva Ecija, as well as the Polillo Islands. As the massive storm approaches, these areas may expect strong peaks, intense rainfall, and wide disruptions.
2 million people, the major port city for Taiwan's exports and imports. I don't know if you can see this patch of trees behind me over the course of the last few hours.
Furthermore, Typhoon Krathon is expected to hit the key port city of Kaohsiung on Wednesday morning, before sweeping across central Taiwan and moving northeast, eventually crossing into the East China Sea, according to the Central Weather Administration. Meanwhile, the storm is predicted to travel northwest across the Balintang Channel today, coming dangerously close to Balintang Island and Batanes, with the threat of making landfall in this area. The typhoon's current path has caused authorities to issue signal number 3 for the whole Babuyan Islands and northeastern mainland Cagayan, warning people of high winds and severe weather. The typhoon's strongest gusts are likely to hit locations under signal number.
They've essentially been completely battered, stripped bare in some cases, many of them broken down as well as a result.
4 between Monday morning and afternoon. During this key interval, the storm's intensity will peak, with significant to severe impacts expected throughout the region. Residents can expect to feel the raw strength of nature as gusts whip through neighborhoods, uprooting trees and causing widespread disruption. The following 48 hours will bring a moderate to high risk of life-threatening storm surges to low-lying and exposed coastal communities in Batanes, the Babuyan Islands, and Cagayan's northern mainland. These huge waves represent a significant concern, producing dangerous circumstances for everyone at shore.
Of those winds as the typhoon was approaching, much of Taiwan...
Authorities are recommending caution because sea traffic is rated hazardous for all sorts of vessels in the area. As the storm approaches, coastal towns prepare for its arrival, aware of the raw might of nature that threatens their beaches. The storm Julian is expected to intensify and become a super typhoon by Tuesday, October 1st. It is forecast to stay a typhoon until it leaves the Philippines' area of responsibility, PAR. Meanwhile, on Sunday, the Cordillera Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, RDRMC,
now it is on the third consecutive day,
increased the alert level of its Emergency Operations Center, EOC, from blue to red. This decisive measure emphasizes the severity of the situation, as the Council increases its efforts to protect the region from the impending storm. The red alert represents a commitment to increased monitoring, which ensures that weather-related warnings and advisories are delivered quickly and efficiently. It also focuses on optimal coordination and interoperability among diverse agencies, forging a united front in the face of adversity. With reaction preparedness at the center of their purpose, the Council is ready to act swiftly and efficiently, while emphasizing the safety and well-being of the communities they serve. Though uncontrollable, there must be ways to mitigate its repercussions. As a severe typhoon approaches, Taiwan has taken swift action, closing schools and companies to ensure its inhabitants' safety.
To typhoon, the government has issued warning to around 2.7 million residents in the southwestern city of Kaohsiung.
On Tuesday, hundreds of inhabitants from risky places across the island were evacuated, notably those in mountainous areas prone to landslides. Typhoon Krathon caused over 2,000 people to flee their homes Monday. The storm's fierce winds blew roofs off remote homes, leaving a trail of devastation, while tall trees were uprooted and thrown to the ground. As the powerful Typhoon Krathon approached Taiwan's highly populated southwest coast on Tuesday, the country responded quickly and decisively, mobilizing over 40,000 troops to boost rescue efforts. With the storm's approach threatening to unleash a devastating storm surge, the urgency of the situation has never been more palpable. As waves swirl ominously in the water, the Coast Guard is working hard to find 19 sailors who were forced to abandon their ship due to dangerous weather conditions.
Officials have sent text messages asking residents to take shelter from gushing winds of over 160 kilometers per hour.
The stress is thick in the air as rescue crews prepare for the storm's impending arrival, ready to face the obstacles provided by both nature and the lives on the line. In the city, most stores and restaurants closed their doors and shutters, turning the bustling streets into a ghost town. Traditional wet markets, which were once buzzing with activity, stood silent. Chen Mei-ling, a local living close to the harbor, commented on her experiences with previous typhoons. "The high tides have reached just a few meters from my main door," she shared, her voice tinged with apprehension. "We've got torches and emergency food supplies," Chen continued, her determination evident. "It's a strong typhoon, and we are worried. While this is temporary, the consequences are long-term. Let's learn more about them." Typhoon Krathon has had a significant impact on the northern Philippines economy.
International flights have also been cancelled. The typhoon has brought incessant rainfall on the hilly regions,
disrupting many elements of daily life and local enterprises. Aside from the 2,000 people forced to leave their houses, there are urgent costs for emergency lodging, food, and medical treatment. Repairing houses and public buildings will also put a strain on local resources and cause significant delays in essential services. The storm's powerful winds and water have destroyed crops, resulting in lost income for farmers and potential increases in food prices. Tourism, a major source of income in the area, may also suffer if damaged infrastructure makes it more difficult for guests to arrive. Transportation disruptions from damaged roads and airports will make it difficult for goods and people to move around, causing delays and higher costs for businesses that rely on shipping. In addition, Typhoon Krathon has had the most terrible effects on people's lives. The storm caused damage to houses and valuables, leaving families without basic necessities and generating emotional issues as they cope with the loss of their property. Safety concerns are heightened during such a violent storm, with many people concerned for their own and their loved ones' safety. Flooding and destruction can also pose health dangers, such as waterborne infections and injuries, as well as limited access to clean water and medical care.
And across the eastern coast. Officials have reported 2 deaths and 70 injuries so far. The typhoon...
Children's education is disturbed since schools may be closed or damaged, disrupting both their learning and family routines. Overall, Typhoon Krathon has disrupted daily life and presented major obstacles to residents in affected areas. Now, let us go on to the most interesting part. What is the concept behind St. Elmo's fire, and how is it related to the current typhoon? St. Elmo's fire. Within the setting of Typhoon, Julian most likely refers to a weather phenomenon that can occur during extreme storms, such as typhoons, and can be identified by a blue or violet glow near the points of pointed objects, such as ship masts, church steeples, or even treetops. The light is created by the ionization of air molecules, which produces a small amount of plasma. Historically, sailors saw St. Elmo's fire as a sign of good luck and protection, believing it meant the storm was over and they were safe. This occurrence is sometimes connected with the presence of a thunderstorm, and is sometimes mistaken for lightning or other electrical discharges. What efforts will be taken to strengthen infrastructure and mitigate flooding in susceptible areas? What lessons can Typhoon Krathon teach us about responding to future natural disasters? What measures would be taken to enhance awareness about preparedness for disasters in the impacted areas? Do let us know your valuable thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and press the notification bell so that you can be the first to watch our new video. Please help me reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. See you in the next video.